I felt that part where she just flicked.
That downfall of Danny.
Oh yeah, bells ringing, and then you see her face.
Yeah,
and
she's like,
like twitching.
I won, but it doesn't feel like I won.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's like,
I need to make an example of things. Yeah.
It's like if she was playing Devil May Cry, and I got A. I want S plus.
I want S. No, 3S. I want SSS.
3S.
Yeah.
I want 3S, and she's like, screw this. Also, it shows though, ideologies does not necessarily work. You can have all the right intentions, ideologies. At the end of the day, if you don't have dragons,
Or a dragon in this case. Yeah, you're kind of boned. Yeah.
well, I think the allegory there is like if you don't come with the right family name.
Hello and welcome to another Game of Thrones BuzzPOP.tv and Kakuchopurei extravaganza special where we talk about the penultimate episode of Game of Thrones Season 8. We're down to one. So the first act, we see Varys writing a letter,
Yeah.
and then Daenerys, after the events of the last episode, she's obviously kind of depressed.
Yep.
So
who was it to?
I
He
think
never
we won't
sent the
know.
letter,
We
right?
won't know until like the last episode.
Yeah, I think what he's doing is he is spreading the news throughout King's Landing because when we first saw him, that was during the day, and then the last
So
time
he was really writing.
he was
that.
already writing. So I bet he would love photocopiers at that time.
But he'll have to do with Ravens, basically.
So he would obviously they won't show the whole step of him going to Ravens and whatnot, but it seems that he's been doing it for a while now.
Day to night.
Yeah, so he is probably spreading the news to everyone within the realm because
That Daenerys is cuckoo.
yeah, and because I think after that we saw what happened to him, right? And he's resigned. It feels like my job is done. So I think his final act of defiance is, you know what, I've done it. That's why he's resigned to being fried.
Yeah, so his job was done, so in the end he ended up well done.
I feel like it was a very sad quote that he said before he died.
Power resides, is it?
No, initially it was like man decides where power resides, whether or not they know it.
It's a recall to I think season 2. Remember?
He said it in season 2, right?
Oh,
Was
really?
it?
Power resides where man perceive it resides.
The sad line was the one before he died. The one he says, "I hope I deserve this. I hope I'm wrong.
I hope I'm wrong.
Goodbye, old friend." I was like,
Yeah.
Dang.
Because him and Tyrion for the longest time. I mean,
They go way back, yeah.
it's fun to watch them because those are probably the smartest men
Yeah.
who don't need to be the strongest.
Yeah, their brains not brawn. That's
brains
for sure.
not brawn. You know, when Tyrion was Hand of the King, he was the only person who actually acknowledges Tyrion's authority.
Yeah.
And then he actually helped Tyrion a lot. I mean, he saved Tyrion, brought him all the way to Pentos and everything. So it's a sad.
It's a sad way to go, basically, when you
Yeah.
know that you were kind of wrong in supporting the wrong character, which we'll find out much
He
more
was
later.
standing for his
Yeah.
own beliefs.
Yeah.
For the kingdom. He's always said,
Yeah.
whatever he does is for the kingdom.
Yeah, and unfortunately, he paid for that.
He
You
stood
know.
his ground. I think that's a noble way of saying, you know, if you're defiant till the end, if you believe what you think, you know, regardless whether it's going to be right or wrong. In this case, he was right.
Yeah.
And I thought that's people are complaining about how the Daenerys switch happened so abruptly.
Which we'll get to
Yeah.
much
Yeah.
later
But
in the third act.
I think he saw it since season 1.
Or since he, because he's been following Danny since season 1 with his spies and everything.
Yeah, I mean the guy. If you guys remember season 1, I think it's Illyrio, right?
Yeah.
The one who homed
Yeah.
Daenerys and Viserys. He was working closely with
Correct.
Varys,
Correct.
so he's seen the descent to madness of this. He knows the
Like
Targaryen.
her rise and then
Yeah.
her
So
descent to madness.
so people are saying, "Oh, this is abrupt," but if you look at it, if you look at it from his perspective, he sees where things are headed.
yeah.
So he's a man of vision, and
And if you look back during the days of Marine,
Mm.
when she wanted to break the old ways of Marine,
Yeah.
the slavery and whatever, yeah, Danny seems to represent that like brash, like act before I think. And as a mirror effect, we saw at the beginning Varys was against Danny, and then as a mirror effect, you see how Jon is like just doggedly like, you know, I'm gonna support her. She's my queen. I'm gonna support her. She's my queen. To the point that Varys died, and then it's like,
Okay, maybe this is about wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. But he
This is
stuck to
quite a
his
mood
guns.
killer when you think about it.
He stuck to his guns. I mean, it is a bit extreme what Danny did. Of course, she did what she promised. The next time you betray me, I will kill you. Right? She said.
Oh, she said to Tyrion, yeah.
No, to Varys. Remember that?
Oh,
But Varys told her, if I see something is not right,
I will tell you straight in
I
your
will
face.
tell-
This was his promise a long time ago.
it was
yeah.
his promise to her a long time ago. So, to me, Game of Thrones, it's more than just battles, and it's all about how those words where the weights carry.
Yeah, definitely.
So I think Varys, the only thing Varys did wrong is he didn't get away really quick.
Yeah.
But yeah,
He died as he lived. The man who wanted he wanted to do more for his kingdom.
I think there was an important scene before the trial of Varys, which reminds me, it's a callback for like our conversation in episode 1 or 2, where you were saying how Dany rules with fear, but then Sansa rules with love.
Yeah.
And she actually said this line when like she was gonna kiss Jon.
Yeah.
She said like,
Yeah.
I don't have love here. I
Yep.
only have fear.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they were trying to kiss, John maybe realized that he was kissing his aunt. And then like she held back. It's like, all right then, let there be fear.
Yeah.
So like there's no love lost between John and her anymore.
I mean, it's hard to get a bit of whoopee going on when you just saw your most trusted advisor burn crispy alive.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, and the thing is, I think Dany is again. People keep on saying that's an abrupt shift, but if you read her mannerism and the lines she uttered, no need to go since season 4, 5, 6, even since season
Like
8.
2 and 3, right?
No, since even season 8 started, all the clues were there.
Yeah.
And this is just a confirmation of what she is. People are just in denial on what she's turned into.
Yeah.
And if you look, she's lost her closest advisors. Missandei's gone, and also Sir Friendzone's gone.
Yeah.
So
And Tyrion is like thinking that he kind of backstabbed her like later on in the second act, right?
Yeah.
In a way.
So
I don't think so.
I mean,
I don't
for the
think-
greater good,
she,
you know.
she thinks she thinks that by Jon telling Sansa, therefore Sansa telling Tyrion, that Jon is against her as well.
She's basically a dictator.
Yeah.
right.
She could have all the advisors around her, and she would still refuse to listen to them, and just using fear to gain.
That's the sad thing. She
Yeah.
she doesn't rule by love. She
But
rules by fear.
it's weird that some of these viewers who are going crazy on Twitter, don't you see this? This is an iron-fisted rule,
She's
and
been doing it since Marine.
that's actually, you know what?
The seeds already have been planted. Now
Yeah.
it's just coming to fruition
Even,
at this
even when
point.
she destroyed all the Dothraki lords,
Yeah.
remember that one scene, I think 2 seasons back, you don't want to follow me? I will burn you all here in this council meeting room.
Yeah.
And then she just took over the Dothraki.
Yes.
It's
So
like, that's how crazy she is.
leader-wise, she's even worse than Cersei.
She's not a pacifist. She's the opposite of
She
pacifist.
gets stuff done.
She's
Yeah.
an anarchist.
Anarchist.
Well, I'm not sure whether.
I guess dictator will be the correct fit,
dictator,
right?
yeah.
It's pretty much that.
Yeah.
A very active dictator. Yes. And we should get on to the bits where, like, before the actual King's Landing scene happened in this episode, spoilers obviously, we should talk about what happened. Apparently, Jaime got caught halfway through when he was trying to run away.
Yeah.
And Tyrion managed to come across him in a camp, like, in prison and stuff.
Yeah.
So that was a pretty heartfelt scene that basically they're going to see each other for the very, very, very last time, where I got a safe passage for you and stuff, meet me at
Oh yeah.
What was
he-
the location
he-
again?
He gave like it's
Something of a dragon
in the
underground shit,
caves,
right?
under the dragon.
Yeah.
You go down the stairs.
Yeah.
That's where.
Try to get your sister
that's
out,
where
kill her,
Tyrion
I don't care.
Ran away,
you know?
right?
Yeah, that's how Tyrion ran away
Yeah.
the last time around.
Oh, yeah.
After the purple wedding.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Also, that's where how he got into King's Landing to meet Jaime and Bronn
Yes.
to arrange for that meet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So he knows that passage really.
Yeah,
really well.
yeah. And truer words have been said. I mean, there was a heartfelt goodbye line in a sense, with tears and everything. It was,
That's sad, man.
yeah, it is.
I like that one line he said. Tens of thousands of innocent lives. One not particularly innocent dwarf. Seems like a good trade.
Sounds like a good trade-off.
Shows
Yeah.
that he's willing to sacrifice, and I think that
he was fighting for the ceasefire.
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
fighting for a ceasefire. And
He wanted that bell to be rung in the
turn
town.
on the bells. Turn on the bells. Yeah.
I think because what happened to Varys, and he saw that Varys sacrificed himself to get
So
the truth out there.
it's his responsibility.
Yeah, it's not his responsibility. And he's like, look, if this guy sacrifices himself, what's a dwarf, right? If
Yeah.
I can sacrifice myself to save thousands of
And
people.
before that camp scene, he actually begged Daenerys not to just wait for the bell and then we can stop.
Yeah.
And, you know.
And she made that message to Grey Worm, like, if you hear the bell, you stop.
Yeah.
Kind of like without saying it, yeah.
Yeah, she kind of nodded lah, but I think it's more like play along with me. I mean, if I do it, you do it. If I don't, you don't.
Follow what your boss tells you.
follow my
so that's
lead.
what that signaling will like.
That's what I think. I think like, okay, follow my lead. Because Grey Worm, at the end of the day, Grey Worm has nothing else to fight for.
Yeah,
So
his
his son is
girlfriend
gone.
died.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what are you gonna do, right?
So it's like, okay,
You gotta
whatever.
follow my queen, you know. I don't care for this world
So
and life
ultimately,
anymore.
it's Danny saying, follow my lead. If Tyrion can say whatever he
So
wants.
just play along.
Just play along. Because at the end of the day, she wants to get him out of it anyway. Get out of the room.
Yeah.
So, which leads to the big battle.
Yep. The big battle, like I guess the prelude where Jaime, Clegane, and Arya were actually all making their way into King's Landing. This is the start of the second act.
That morning was chaotic, man.
Oh,
Everybody
yes,
was
I was
just, like,
running
closing
around.
out windows and then running around and then like.
Did a lot, didn't it? Closing windows. So much for closing windows. There's a freaking dragon.
Yeah,
You're just
yeah.
gonna close your windows.
Yeah, just one
Really?
dragon. Yes.
It's like-
That's gonna help.
Yep.
Yeah.
well, in the beginning.
Good try. Good
It-
try, peasants.
I mean, as you pan over the King's Landing, right? You saw how many scorpions they were. How many ships.
All ready to
Everything's
fire
just
at
like-
whatever's flying.
Yeah, everything's just ready to like. So I thought like that dragon is gonna die, man.
Yeah, I thought like people were speculating there were 2 dragons. It's gonna come with freaking armor and stuff like that. Like,
Turns out no. It was just a very fast dragon.
Yeah, she learned from her
Well,
mistakes.
apparently, learn from your mistakes. Having a dead dragon to take revenge on is a good motivator, you know.
Yeah.
Like basically, your god mode and your speed turn on like 100% lah, more or less.
It's
guess
not
so.
about that. I think she just realized, look, those things aren't very mobile.
Yeah. Like as you can see, they had to like okay, turn left, turn left.
Yeah. So you just outflank them and then just do really quick turns and then you're there. So okay, at least she learned something. Maybe did a recon stuff, right? She's running, flying left and right or whatever. But it's nice to see them learning from their mistakes.
Yeah.
It's crazy how one dragon can cause so much destruction. Like the Iron Fleet was burning.
It was this.
All the scorpions were destroyed. When Carbon had to say that, like all the scorpions are destroyed, the Iron Fleet are burning. I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, one dragon did all that shit.
And then I can imagine seriously having that face of the dog. I'm fine.
I
The
know,
whole
right?
land
This
is
is
on
fine.
fire.
The
This is
Red
fine.
Keep will, has never been taken over. It will be
I've
fine.
never seen someone so steadfast. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like
we can do this. But the funnier thing is, totally. How to put it? Yeah, I think in the running against, we thought the Dothraki was wasted in episode 3.
Yeah. Apparently, there's still some more Dothraki.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there are some of them, but to top that up, the Golden Company, we didn't even see even one guy wield a sword. Dude.
no, that's the thing. That's why first there was chaos.
Yeah.
And then there was just silence.
Yep.
Like everybody's looking up to the sky. You know, everybody's waiting for something, but they don't know what it is.
Yeah.
And first the Iron Legion went like boom.
Yeah.
And then all the scorpions, and then gradually
It came from the back.
the
Yeah,
Golden
from the
Company
back,
from the
yeah,
back.
yeah.
and the-
All right, we're gonna fight. We're just gonna wait, and then okay, that's it. Surprise attack.
Yeah, everybody else is just waiting. So they were like what are we waiting for?
Yeah.
Right? It's like
Fat load.
Waiting for a queue to die.
20,000 gone just like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. So, which comes to mind? Imagine if you could create this this
With
amount
one
of
dragon.
destruction with one
One.
dragon. I mean, God.
Imagine if the other one was still alive.
Yeah, imagine the other one still up. All you just need is a bit of strategy.
yeah. And how did she not use it in Battle at Winterfell?
That's
That's a good
now
point.
she remembers to use fire. Like,
I will attribute this to magic, Night King Cloud Fog magic. I don't know, but fuck it.
it was like fire 100%, man.
Yeah, yeah.
But at Battle of Winterfell in the dark, she's like,
we got two streaks. One streak. No, one streak each.
one string each.
That's it. And she's creating hashtags on King's Landing.
Yeah.
It's like had you used this, for the Battle of
It would
Winterfell.
have saved so much.
So
Yeah, yeah.
So
But
many lives.
Game of Thrones has never been a show about following following to type or following to, you know, like
You know
happy
what Game
endings
of
and
Thrones
whatnot.
is telling me more and more?
What?
Sometimes dumb people have all the power and they're not using it to their maximum capacity.
Kind of like real life, don't you
I
think?
guess so. I guess
Yeah.
so. Yeah.
And it makes you so frustrated because here's the thing. Since season 1, I was never rooting for Dany, but I enjoyed seeing her character.
Yeah, the
Grow,
evolution,
yeah.
her arc, yeah.
Her evolution to someone cold-hearted and
Yeah.
steadfast in the end, lah, you know.
It is Game of Thrones, it's subverting your expectations,
Yeah.
throwing you a curveball. But then again, this is something that we've seen happen.
Yeah.
But this is the build-up of 7 seasons, 8.
This is like the payoff of the build-up,
7.5 seasons to see her flying her dragons on top of King's Landing,
in ashes.
taking people down just like that, literally.
Yeah.
And it came to that point where she was just,
Yeah.
waiting there.
And the thing is, here's the funny thing I realized as I watched it.
Mm-hmm.
Dany didn't say a single word after Dragonstone. You realize that?
She only said some words during Varys' trial and
Yeah.
during that night before the
Everything
fight.
else
yeah.
was emoting?
Yeah,
Was it?
everything was emoting.
Yeah.
Imagine
Her look and eyes and
when the battle
everything, you know.
started, we didn't see much of Dany. We just see the dragons, and then once she thought the first, after all the scorpions were taken down, the walls are breached. She didn't say a word.
She was just
She was just on it.
on it.
So she kind of literally become a dragon. It's just
Yeah.
mind
It's like
manipulation.
Dragon Sense took over her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Because the Lannister guards just let down,
Yeah.
all their weapons.
Yeah.
that bell,
The bell was tolling.
I felt that part where she just flicked.
That downfall of Dany.
Oh yeah, bells ringing and then you see her face.
Yeah,
and
she's like,
like twitching.
I won, but it doesn't feel like I won.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's like,
I need to make an example of things. yeah.
It's like if she was playing Devil May Cry, and I got A. I want S plus.
I want S. No, 3S. I want S.
Yes,
Yeah.
I want 3S, and she's like, screw this.
and the moment she saw the red keep, she's like, my family built that shit.
But the thing is,
Now I came back and then she just took it down.
she would be forgiven if she just went for the red keep and
Or just
take it
perch
down.
onto it, or
Yeah.
maybe just
Yeah.
have the dragon throw a little fire on Cersei's part. That's
Not
it.
create hashtags on King's Landing.
Yeah.
She made more destruction onto King's Landing than she ever did to the White Walkers, which is stupid.
Yeah.
Because
Which
these are the
kinda
people
shows-
that you want to rule, but you just burn them to death.
Well, she's
Yeah.
basically the Queen of Ashes.
Yeah, she actually did what her father failed to do, basically,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, she's crazy.
Her dad must be very proud. Though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like, yeah,
Good job, daughter. I'm clapping from hell,
Very
down
proud
here.
of you, my daughter.
Looking up from down here in hell. Yeah. Before we get to the one of the most anticipated fight scenes leading up to the tower, that red building,
Yeah.
we have Arya having some heartfelt talk with the Hound.
Oh, yeah.
At the start, you're gonna go up there, you're gonna die. Like, okay, thanks Tegan for warning me. I'm gonna chow now. It's basically that lah. But
I think Clegane realizes that he's done for.
Yeah.
He's lived a long life.
Yeah.
yeah. So
This is
as a
the-
final act of kindness, he
Yeah.
told Arya, "Fuck off! I'm gonna take this."
Yeah, you still have a future in
Yes.
front of you.
Yeah, he did one, revenge will take you.
Yeah, you want to be like me and be a revenge guy? Yeah, probably
So
not.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's a nice. I think that's a good closure
Yeah,
for
yeah,
stand
yeah.
up again. I mean, he
And
wasn't.
it was the fight you guys wanted in the end, right? Clegane Bowl.
Clegane Bowl!
It happened. And did you guys enjoy what happened from beginning to end?
Oh yeah.
I thought it was one of the most brutal fights.
Yeah.
Oh, and just before that, our hearts go out to the Maester. Yeah, this is the worst death ever. Like neck crack.
Listen to
and
your
then
queen.
Yep.
Shut the fuck up.
Totally Rock dies already.
So was he alive before or after the chokeslam?
I think the
I think he did. He died by the chokeslam.
Yeah,
already.
the chokeslam killed him.
Crack here or crack there?
Yeah.
So
It's like insult to injury.
It's like
lah.
crack. It's
Yeah.
like double.
that was unceremonious. That was
It's
like,
like fatality.
the queen was talking to her.
Yeah.
Rule number 1.
Yeah. Don't talk to the zombie guy who has nothing else to live for.
Yes, and the zombie guy didn't want to listen to your queen. What
Yeah.
know you?
Yes.
So
I like how the that fight went through phases. Like gradually he started opening pieces of his armor to the point that he's just like, I am the heart.
obviously Sandor didn't watch endgame because they should have gone for the head.
Yes.
It's just like,
Yeah.
come on. But then
He
again,
kind of did in the end.
okay,
Part.
still coming
Yeah,
up.
as he was just about to be Viper. You know, like,
Yeah.
please don't die like the Viper.
You know, it's the funniest thing.
This
I
is like the
realized?
most anime scene I've
Right?
seen in a live action film.
It's crazy.
Like
right?
both of them fighting. I can actually imagine that one Bleach song playing or like a Naruto theme playing while they're both having a standoff. You know.
I thought he probably saw, what's her name? That little Mormon girl stab it in the eye. I guess it didn't work. And I think that's a good end to the Clegane brothers arc.
Yeah.
I think
The irony is, when it dawned on him that
The fall also was kind of an arc in a way.
He-
lah.
I'll have
A
to
little
die
arc.
for you to die,
he fell into fire.
yeah,
Mm.
that's the thing that he hates the most.
Yeah, I should put Kanye versus song through the fire.
To kill his brother,
Yeah.
he needs to go into the thing he hates the most.
Yeah.
Also, he
crazy.
took one for the team because at the end of the day, he always say he'll not sacrifice himself. Interesting line. Remember season 6
Mhm.
when they were marching into the dragon pit and there was a line. There was always a Clegane behind the Lannister.
Mm.
So when there's no Clegane behind the Lannister dies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a
And-
sad scene as
Oh,
well.
that was very prophetic.
Mm.
Prophetic. Yeah, yeah. It was not-
I never thought Jaime would kill Cersei though, because I mean, yeah, the prophecy says that, but then again, it's just his hand on
the
her neck.
incense is strong with this one, I guess.
The hand on her neck. So
Yep.
people were alluding to that.
No, it's more like he knows there's no more way out,
Yeah,
and
he's
he's
resigned
just
to it.
trying to calm her down.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He wants to treat her. I mean, they want to go back
Before
to being
their
a
last
family and
home,
all
yeah.
that. Yeah.
yeah. He's resigned to it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she manages to. I mean, the first thing she says, she didn't say anything. She
She
just
finally
cried.
broke in that crib.
She
Yeah.
cried.
The
Yeah.
one where I don't want my baby to die. I don't
Yeah.
want my baby to die. It's like, finally, all the mask goes away and she becomes human.
Yeah, yeah. That for the first time in forever,
In forever,
she shows
yeah.
her vulnerability.
I love
Like,
that line that he said to her, the last one.
Nothing else matters, right?
The one he says, "Look at me, just look at me.
Yeah.
Nothing else matters."
Oh my god,
Oh,
yeah.
nothing.
That,
But then again, it's closing chapters. But then again, people just realize the big baddie was never Cersei.
Yeah,
The big baddie was never the Night King.
It's Daniel.
it's
always been
Daenerys in the end.
That
So-
means Robert Baratheon was correct
Yeah,
from
he
season
was.
1.
Yeah.
Like this crazy dragon lady, and she's gonna fucking take over us.
I mean, think about it this way: if it was a typical fantasy show, Daenerys would have a change of heart.
Yeah,
But not in this case. This is, I mean, George R. R. Martin's spirit
This
is
is
kind of
not-
there, I guess.
this is not friggin' Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is a George R. R. Martin production.
This is a HBO story.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
prepared to be disappointed because I
But
think-
also satisfied in a way because this is how these kind of bastards can get away with things here and there.
I would like to point out a lot of this angriness or like people are saying, oh, you shouldn't have done this or whatever, right? I don't think they realize what Game of Thrones is all about. It's, okay, fine, there are certain moments where your expectations were met in screen.
Yeah.
But just because you have fan fiction, at the end of the day, respect the filmmakers or,
Yeah.
the producers. But I think the biggest issue is maybe they could use 1 or 2 more episodes.
I feel it was cemented in that scene at Dragonstone. Remember when it was Grey Worm, Tyrion, and her? She said she cemented her decision by saying, "I will burn all these people. Mercy is they think mercy is my weakness, but mercy is my strength. I will burn all these people for the future generations."
Not really, because here's the thing. That's why it's just talk. People, when
she
the bell
flipped
rang,
after
when
that.
the bell rang, people literally bended the knee.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
the
surrendered
The land is
everything.
just like
Yeah.
they drop everything.
So when she said what, bend the knee, and I will spare you. That's what she said to the Lannister army, right? Well, kinda, right? That's what she
Yeah.
wanted the Tarlys to do, and
And now when people actually lay
And
down
the
their
thing is,
arms.
When you lay the arm with all the people and townsfolk in disarray and panicking.
she didn't even take it on the soldiers. She took it on the innocents, and
She
I
did,
think
yes.
there's no turning back from that.
That was a little small arc with a kid and her mom.
I think the
That was
race-
kind of short but sweet. No, not sweet. Not sweet.
You've seen
short
them
but
from
sad.
the
Yeah.
second act.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's from like you said just before we started taping. That's a perspective of a common folk.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
POV. Yeah.
Yeah, so I love the whole POV thing. Varys is from a perspective of someone who is rational from the high folks,
Yeah.
and he got killed. Even the little folks got killed just like that, just like another passerby by the fire.
It's all Clegan's fault.
But I thought that
Clegane said, I'm taking your place.
yeah.
And then, like, that's
Yeah.
why Clegane got in, and then the doors closed up on them.
Well, imagine if they didn't let him in, and they would have denied us Clegane Bowl. So you would be cursing
Oh,
for
then-
them.
yeah, then they would-
Yeah. We
Okay.
need the most anime moment of Game
Their
of Thrones.
sacrifice was
Yeah.
worthy.
So, anyways, going to the next episode, right? After this episode ended, I saw this preview of episode 6,
And it was very brief. There was like 3 scenes.
and not many. You just see post battle.
Sheila, the Dothraki woman, like, "Rrrr."
Yeah,
and
and
Danny walking
Uh-huh.
onto like a clearing.
Yep, and I see
what
Unsullied,
else?
Unsullied
Unsullied,
armies, and I don't see anyone.
I think they're keeping everything else a secret. That's our last episode.
But then again, she's Queen of Ashes.
It looks like it.
She's queen of nothing.
Literally, she's the Queen of Ashes.
I feel this episode is when Jon Snow and Arya finally realizes how bonkers Danny is.
Yeah.
You done fucked up, John.
Yeah,
Yeah, the gun.
Jon, you really fucked up, man.
And in a way, that move kind of reunited the whole of Seven Kingdoms against her.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, man. I mean, I think Daenerys has to go. I don't see Dany surviving past half of the last episode.
Well, whatever that happens, I think hopefully we'll be in for a surprise.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
all the outrage will be tempered once episode 6 airs, because once you look back, actually there is a proper progression of character, especially our main antagonist now.
Yeah, first she was stupid,
Mm.
and then now she's crazy.
Mhm.
Then she got OP Dragon, and then maybe the dragon will get nerfed in the last episode.
Yeah, like
For
the
all you know.
Scorpions were really nerfed this episode, man.
Yes, they were.
Like last episode they were too crazy,
But then
Yeah.
again,
It was
Surprise attack. But yeah, so
but
crazy.
this time around they were like, wow, they did nothing. My prediction is Danny takes the Iron Throne, and then slowly you'll see Jon, Davos, and Tyrion start plotting like, hey, maybe she's like deranged, and she shouldn't be on the Iron Throne.
And then they might end up dead.
I don't
Who
think
knows?
she'll even get to sit on the throne.
You think like Arya's just gonna come and like,
Yeah, I think she's gonna do
She
it.
did it with the Night King. I'm sure she can do it with Daenerys.
now it's kind of expected. Now it's like, Arya's gonna do it, you know.
Like-
And Sansa might take over in the end, lah, I guess.
I guess so.
Sansa and Tyrion marries.
Yeah, that's what I actually want.
That's why this guy is still gonna be on the throne. Put it there. Because from where everything is going, because he's the only guy who's trying to make sure that everyone lives.
Yeah.
As many people live, that's the only guy who's fighting for that.
He's being a very good ruler,
Mm.
you know, thinking of like, you know.
The ruler Westeros needs, not the one they deserve.
Yeah, and I feel like if he gets up to the throne, he'll bring about democracy. Because he's always been the odd man out. The one that people call a monster and fear and hate. So he understands what it feels like to be the common folk.
Yeah, what's that word? Dwarves, cripples, and bastards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think we can end it on this note right now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. So thanks a lot, guys, for tuning into this episode.
Yeah.
Tune in next week for the very final episode of Game of Thrones, and this episode as well. And where we talk about Game of Thrones season 8 and how it turns out, spoiler heavy and everything, what we thought about it and everything. So of course, follow Nick from BuzzPOP.tv and check out Kakuchopurei at thekkp.com. This is me, Nick, and Ken signing out. See ya.